So we've got Anna Kowalska. Our next speaker is here. So let me quickly introduce Anna before we get into some amazing content. Her talk today is the power of your voice in claiming your prosperity. Anna guides spiritual women entrepreneurs in creating success in alignment with their highest purpose and divine prosperity. After creating traditional success in life and having it disappear for the third time, Anna decided to put all her focus and energy in discovering and living her soul purpose, co-creating her success with the source. Along the way, she immersed herself in numerous spiritual, metaphysical, mind and body modalities, bringing it all together to guide women into living their sacred success, aligned with their unique soul purpose and claiming their divine prosperity. Anna is devoted to creating a world of harmony, unity, purpose, and prosperity within and without for all of the life through new earth leaders. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you,
Alexandra. I noticed that there's just overlaps with a lot of our speakers. So again, not coincidence. It overlaps in even terminology that's being used. So grateful that you're here. And okay, so what I want to know is, you mentioned voice. And especially as women, we're aligning our mission and our message to make a bigger impact in the world. So what are some ways that you can amplify your voice to make a bigger impact?
Oh, what a loaded question that is.
We get right into it.
Totally, right into it. So amplifying comes from within, right? So often we withhold, and I'll tell you my story, and I'll tell you the story of my clients who come to me. We speak to things that we believe other people want to hear, or we speak to things that worked for somebody else. We hear their message. Maybe we see somebody we admire and we're like, this is what I'm going to preach from now on. But we really don't get into what is this that I'm here for? What is this that's true for me? That when I say it, it's so real for me in my bones that whoever is meant to hear it and be attracted to it and benefit from it, it's not even the words that I use, but it's the energy behind it. I'm all about energy and intention. The energy behind it is so real and so honest for me that it becomes mission to millions, right? Because people want to be in the energy. That's right. People want to be in the energy of authenticity. And authenticity starts with, what is this? What is authentic to me, right? Maybe it's even in the moment. To me, mission might change. Especially right now where we are in the world, we are in this amazing time of very quick and huge leap for humanity. And things are changing so quickly. What worked a month ago may not work tomorrow. The words we use will be applicable yesterday, but maybe not today, right? So the energy and our alignment with what it is that I stand for is so important. Really getting down to, what is this that I stand for? What is this that is really true, unique to me? And you and I may have the same mission. I may talk about it similarly, but my experience, my frequency, my soul expression will make it unique to me and will then resonate with the right people at the right time.
So is that, I know I've heard you say that alignment with your frequency is your currency. Is that aligned with that? And could you explain a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, everything is energy. Or do we agree?
Yes.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. So everything is energy. That means that even the words that we use have a frequency to it. And when we speak the words out in the world, they actually become something in the world. May not be immediate, but they start creating something, right? So when we align with truly what is ours, right? Our frequency, and I work with alignment with a soul purpose, and soul purpose isn't something, let me just bust that myth. It's not something we are here to do, because we are here to do many different things. We may do them all, we may not. It's that's who we came here to be, that this our soul wanted at the soul level before it embodied. It said, I will have a certain experience in this human expression, and I will be a certain way in the world. And even that may shift, but there's always this core way, right? And when I am aligned with that, when I allow myself, and these are layers and layers, this doesn't happen overnight, layers and layers, when we start digging and moving and being more and more authentic with who we are, and then using our voice to express it, then guess what happens? People literally buy into, and I don't mean it as a trick, people buy into what we are sharing because they resonate, because at some level in their soul, they feel the truth for themselves. And guess what they want to do then? They want to work with us, right? They want to work with you because they feel some resonance. They want what you have. And then it turns into them exchanging what you have for monetary, right? For money, which is what we use right now. So your frequency is your currency. Okay. Having all that said, the more you are attuned to who you truly are, and have patience and grace with yourself, and compassion doesn't happen overnight. There are layers and layers. We never arrive. I'm not the first one to say it, right? Like, we never arrive. There is always the next step of who we get to be. But as long as you are on a journey, as long as you are doing the work to be authentically who you are right this moment, then you are aligned with your frequency. When you are aligned with your frequency, then the life force flowing through you, hopefully you guys are like really, like, hopefully I'm landing it, because I'm not sure if your audience is like into it, but I'm just gonna go with it. So
Trust, we trust.
I am,
right?
totally. Yeah. Because I forgot to ask you, I'm like, how much into that spirit stuff do you guys get? But so there is a life force always flowing through us when we open to it being aligned with our frequency, right? That life force flowing through us, aligned with our frequency. We allow it through our message, through our contribution, through the work we are doing in the world. All of a sudden, right? This is the life force that's shaped by who I am, going out, reaching to the right people. And again, the right people at the right time want to invest in themselves, want to invest in what they're creating through whatever I am offering. And then if I'm open, right, then it comes back to me. So my frequency now created a current, right? A current that is translating into currency that's coming back to me. Now, second level of that, if you're with me, life is always looking for more expression. Life is always looking to express more through us. So even if you start with mission to thousands, okay, life will absolutely align with you having millions, because life is always looking for more expression. So as long as you are aligned with constantly allowing more and more, doing it from the place of alignment with your frequency, then you will receive more and more coming back to you. Then you are more expanded, and you are becoming bigger. Your frequency is higher, and it becomes again like a circle, and it keeps expanding. And your frequency, when you aligned with it, will determine, right, how much comes back to you, and how much you're impacting, and how much it comes back to you, in terms of how many people you're impacting, and how much you are allowing yourself to receive back in return for what you are putting out in the world. So your frequency is your currency, because it's everything has to do with where are you in alignment with who you truly are, in alignment with your worth. And I don't mean like charge what you're worth. I don't believe that. We get to align with, what do I really need and require, right? What is it that I need and require as a worthy human being, as a soul embodied in this human being expression, this lifetime right now on planet Earth? There is no way that there are all these amazing things accessible to us, and I am not able to pay for it because I can't. It's actually intended for us to have everything we need and require. But the way we get there is by serving more and more people, because money comes to us through people, right? So mission to millions is like in perfect alignment with that. The more people I impact, and sometimes it necessarily doesn't have to be more people. Sometimes maybe it's the quality, right? The frequency to which you allow yourself to serve a certain group of people that brings you back to millions immediately, right? To the frequency of millions. So it doesn't even have to be a lot of people for you to have everything you need and require, and you determine how much you need for you to have constantly expanding your contribution to the world and constantly expanding and rising the frequency of what you put out into the world, so the currency of what you are receiving can expand for you too. How's that?
Ooh. Amen. Preach. So we had, and Nicola just said, alignment is such a powerful word. And I love you speaking about that. Oh my gosh. So a lot to unpack with that, but a few things that came to mind. First is that when we're talking, what you were just talking about aligns really well with, I'm going to have a talk at the end of the day called your $1 million mission.
Oh, I love it.
That's really about like, not just 10xing, but really like amplifying as much as we can. And but apart from that, it reminded me also, I love how you said like maybe start to mission to thousands.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's mission to one if you're just starting out, to one, to tens, to hundreds, to thousands. But like I love what you're saying. It's like the universe is it wants us to expand, it wants us to reach and do what we need to do, to continue to be who we are meant to be. And I love that you mentioned the beingness, because that's definitely part of my definition as well, is the beingness part, not just the doing, right? Like we're all, the doing is like, is the action, but like start with the being. I love that.
We are so in the era right now of, we are stepping deeper into an era of being direct to everything. You can align, you can spend a whole day aligning your being into the right place. Your frequency, your intention, your desire, all clicked in, removing every single story out of the way, every piece of resistance, every single but right? What if you do all that and align your being, you take one action, it could take you 5 minutes, and you can make a much bigger impact than literally toiling away for a week, posting on social media, right? Showing up here, showing up there, over-giving, over-delivering based on nothing but your desperate action. Thinking that you will, in return, receive what you need and require you want. You will feel resentful, depleted, and your frequency will definitely not be, actually your frequency will still reflect your currency, but not in a way that you want it. It will actually reflect the depletion and deficit versus the abundance that we really want.
Yes, I got an amen. Who else? I would love to hear in the chat. Who else has experienced that? I know I've experienced that for sure. Where, even if I was in flow and then all of a sudden at the end, there was this worry, that worry or anxiety I brought into whatever it was I was doing. And in the end, I think it's like, again, going back to the frequency, so important, the vibration that you're bringing. Frequency, so key and important. How can women who haven't, or men, whoever, we do have a mixed group here, so this is not just only for women. I like to say it's women, women entrepreneurs, and some conscious men too. But so for those who are having a hard time finding their voice, what are some tips that you have for helping them, to find and share their voice?
Yeah. Oh boy, that was my journey. One of my life lessons this lifetime is actually going mute about things that matter to me. So as you can tell, I can talk, right? I have no problem talking. I have no problem approaching strangers about the weather or even deeper things, right? But when it came down to really sharing what I stand for, really speaking to what really matters to me, and being so convicted about what I believe, right now, even if it may change a year from now, 6 months from now, that was nearly impossible. People pleasing was definitely one of the things. It still shows up. I think it's something we never get to completely disappear. It's just something that I personally hush down. So people pleasing, feeling misunderstood, having an experience of being misunderstood, where I share something and then somebody will repeat and respond to me in a way that I know that's not what I meant. So all of that was my experience. And I would say things that people wanted to hear, right? That I would think, when I first started my business, it took me forever to land on something that I would actually courageously share and say, okay, this is where I'm putting my stake in the ground, staking my mission on it. It took me forever. And some of the things that I got to do is, believe it or not, energetic clearing of my throat, energetic clearing of anything. And so I actually do do it for myself and with my clients. We go into the throat chakra and we clear out anything that's there. And suddenly there are stories, right? There are stories that were lodged. Again, if you don't align with this, bear with me. We carry in our bones the genes of our great, 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 great grandparents. Now they say 7 generations backwards, right? So 7 generations ago, I was born and raised in Poland, and as far as I know, it was like we were there for generations. So 7 generations before me, some little Polish, great grandmother of mine said, "Women never speak up. When we speak up, we die." Right? And all of a sudden, now that became the truth that lodged in the throat of every single woman. Or don't speak, keep quiet so you stay safe, right? Or somebody could say, oh, women only say dumb things, right? Like women don't know. I mean, this is 7 generations ago. We're talking about, hundreds of years ago, potentially. So there were all these things. I mean, women used to get killed for having any kind of wealth. If I don't know if you noticed, but witches used to, the way they were defined witches, but women who had any kind of wealth that they inherited, they were automatically proclaimed witches. Their wealth was sold and the money was used to torture them. So I carry it in my bones, and so do you. And the same thing goes for men. Men have their own generational, stories. And now this is lodged in our genes. You may never even know how this story originated, but it's living in you. Because every single time body is born of body, the story comes along. And I know where we are right now is we actually get to clear a lot of generational stories. And remember, at some point, it might have literally been somebody using their voice to protect somebody else. Innocent statement that created a belief for generations. Now, I didn't know that, right? But I know when I started doing this clearing for myself, I felt my great grandmothers dance around me with joy. That I was clearing their stories out of our throats, because it happens generations backwards. It's all energy, right? We're all energy. It's all happening at the same time. So when I was clearing these stories, I actually felt them celebrate. So I asked them for courage to start speaking. And then you get to speak, right? So you can do energy work. You can use, I love doing blue is a great color. For the longest time, I would wear all shades of blue because we agreed at some point that blue represents the throat chakra. And whether we like it or not, it's been energized that way. We can change it, but right now it still works. So I would wear blue and I would have blue around me, and blue would make me feel calm, but I also felt it in my throat. It would release things. So once we do all that work, right, we recognize that the only reason why I don't speak about what really matters to me is because I'm afraid for my life. It literally feels like I'm going to be killed if I speak up. And it was even worse when it came to peers. So very often I had a story which I just cleared a year ago. If I speak my truth, I will be pitchforked by my peers. So now think about a coach or a healer or a guide who comes out with a story that may not align with every other coach, healer, and guide out in the world. You will probably not bring that in if you have anything inside of you, inside of your energetic, emotional, physical, mental being that is aligned with. You will be pitchforked by your peer if you say it. Right? So now I'll start watering it down. Now I start talking about it in a gentle way. I don't put my force behind it, because if I do put my life force behind it, I will be killed. So doing all of that, and then you get to speak. You will be pitchforked, and not literally, but I guarantee you, somebody will come at you to quote unquote test. It's not intentional. It is just to see, are you really clear? And some people will not like what you have to say. I just did a series similar to this one, and I got a hate email, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, just don't watch. If you don't like it, just don't watch. Right? But that's where we get to be right now. We get to be in acceptance and compassion that people are hurting, they're going through their own stuff, and people will not like what we have to say. Some people. But I will have my courage to speak my truth for the people who it will resonate with and who are ready for what I'm sharing, because they're waiting for me. So I encourage every single one of you who's watching, do some digging, do some healing, do some work with a coach, with a healer, whoever. Don't do it alone, because alone you're gonna get stuck in the same story you've been stuck with. Somebody gets to pull it with you, right? Because you'll see things and we can massage it, we can justify it. We're very clever human beings. So do some work and then speak, and then speak.
Hmm. Absolutely. So what you brought up, just incredible. I actually completely resonate with a lot of the things you
Hmm.
said. I also believe that I had some generational issues from the
Hmm.
past of being scared to speak up for
Yeah.
probably the similar reasons.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because, and just getting extra woo woo about it, why not? The fact that you and I are in each other's orbit, we never know. Maybe we were in another, or
Right.
at least our ancestors, maybe. So who
Right.
knows? But it's just so
Hmm.
fascinating that we bring up the similar. And my blue is my
Hmm.
favorite color.
I love that you're wearing it too. So great.
So yeah, so only later I learned about communication and the color
Hmm.
blue. So
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So amazing story. So I think you alluded to it about your story, but I want
Hmm.
to know, as an entrepreneur, what
Hmm.
has been one challenge you've had to overcome to really step up and share your message? And is there something that you did to solve it, or is it still a work in progress?
It was the unwillingness to put the stake in the ground. And I believe that we may have the vision, right? Like I have a vision for the world we want to live in. How I share it and what and the words I use and the energy behind it may shift. Why? Because the humanity is shifting. But my vision for the world is I got clear about it about 8 years ago. It was about money. I knew I was here to help people clear, to help humanity clear the whole thing about money. And that because that was my story, right? I grew up in a communist Poland. Money was tainted. Money was it's seen in a certain way. And I came to America, and all of a sudden, within 6 years, I was a millionaire. And I think actually took like 7, 8 years. I was a millionaire, and I was just so uncomfortable that I threw it all away. I walked away from everything. I did it again, and I created a situation where it went away. Now, all of that is not true because I created it all because I wasn't comfortable with it. Until I realized that money for the sake of money doesn't really money for the sake of money doesn't do anything.
Mm,
It satisfies some fake need for security and safety, which doesn't even exist. The only safety and security is in who I am. Who I am. That's it, right? So once I got to, okay, so there gets to be some kind of a mission, right? The purpose behind what I'm doing. And then when money flows on purpose. First of all, it flows easier. Second of all, I am fulfilled by what it is that I am contributing. So money wants to come to me because I'm already fulfilled. So I'm a magnet to it. So my story became, how do we have a very clear, healthy relationship with money in alignment with who we came here to be, which is, to me, it's the purpose, right? How do I be aligned with everything I need and require, serve the role I came here to serve at this very evolutionary time in for humanity? I didn't know it then, but it's happening now. And how do we merge both, right? So one of the most difficult things for me was that when I started to speak the truth, be aligned with my purpose, money just went away. Money wanted nothing to do with me. Now, again, it's energy and I'm personifying. Money has no feelings, right? It's just energy. But all of a sudden, when I stood in my worth, when I stood in the truth of what I was here to speak about, I wasn't worthy of receiving money. So money stopped showing up. So for me, one of the most difficult challenges, and I constantly keep working through it, is how do I keep staying aligned with who I am, with what I'm here to share, and at the same time receive everything I need and require in return, in exchange, with ease and grace. Doesn't mean I have to work harder. It can be easy. It can be graceful. As long as I stay aligned with who I am, with what I'm here to share and how I'm here to contribute, being of service and receiving with ease and grace. So merging the two has been my journey, has been the thing that I am committed to, but that's because it's been my challenge, right?
mm. Beautiful. I totally resonate with that. And again, when I'm going to talk a little later about your mission, I mentioned that, like, how
Hmm.
much our stories and what the challenges that we've overcome, how that can really drive
Yep.
or lead us on the path
Yep.
that we're meant to be, like, or shine a light on it when we might not have even
Ups.
known that. You
Yep.
know.
Yeah, in my experience, it's 100% where we get to find the medicine we are here to bring into the world.
Mm.
Absolutely.
Love
So
the way
right
you said.
on.
Beautiful. So before we wrap, I wanted to share your gift is it's called the Activate Your Sacred We Success.
Secret
Align your
success.
soul. Oh, sacred success. Sorry about that. Align with your soul purpose and divine prosperity to birth your highest soul level body of work, even if you don't know your purpose yet.
Mhm.
Can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so it's the journey. So everything that I have gone through to align my purpose with my healthy relationship with money, which is what I call sacred success. Sacred success is not, certain amount of money, a certain car. I used to drive Bentley. I wasn't happy, so I know it's not about that. But I still love driving Bentley. So I get to have fulfillment, purpose behind everything that I'm creating. So when I receive the money that I'm receiving, I can feel fulfilled before I even receive the money. So there were certain steps that led me to it, that I took over and over again with many of my clients, and I keep taking myself through over and over again every time I up level my game. And I shared it in this recording to help everybody else get access to. This is one of the ways you may be able to access your sacred success that is really the way you want to be here on the planet Earth, being fully expressed, who you came here to be, having everything you didn't require.
Okay, amazing. So I'm sure everyone's going to be getting your gift, and I know that you're actually doing a summit now, or
I am.
a live event. So
Mhm.
before I ask Anna her last very quick question, I want
Mhm.
everyone to put in the chat your love and gratitude for Anna. Any big main takeaways that you've gotten? I'd love for you to share those. And Anna, can you tell us what advice you would give your younger self?
Oh, good question. To trust. I literally just had a breakthrough, and I'm going to be quick about this. I just had a breakthrough yesterday where I said I was visiting my parents in New York. I live in Colorado. And many of my stories, of course, came from my parents, because that's just how it happens. We get our stories and our perception of the world through our caretakers, right? Because that's our first exposure to what happens in the world and how world really is. And I had so many breakthroughs. I had a little movie playing in my mind, but all the times that I didn't value myself enough, didn't value the energy that flows through me, didn't value the love that I'm here to give. I didn't value any of that. That created chaos in my life. And I would go back to that younger self and say, great. First of all, you get to value yourself as soon as you possibly can, even if you don't understand what it means. Second of all, have compassion, because everything you are experiences will be food for everything you are here to teach. So forgive yourself, have compassion, love yourself through all the challenges, and don't waste another moment stepping into your mission. Because there were times when I could have started doing this work a lot sooner.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We got a message here. Love the focus on energy, alignment, and the critical ancestral connection.
Mhm.
You shared a lot of value. Love to work, receive everything I
Oh.
need with ease and grace. Thank
Mhm.
you so much, Anna, for being here. Thank you for doing
Thank
this
you.
during your own event. So
So good. I
such
love
a
it.
blessing, of course. But I loved how you said, like, again, the frequency and just putting it out there.
Mhm.
Everything is circulating, and so we're supporting each other. And so I'm so happy that you're here, and we'll definitely need to do this again.
Yes, thank you for having me, and thank you for doing this. It's amazing. Thank you, Alexandra. Mwah. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Blessing. For more help growing your visibility and monetizing your brand, go to alexanderfigueredo.com. And if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. Thank you.